Hello, hello. This is my second video for today. I'm still trying to get it right. I was thinking I might start making these in the other room. Better lighting. I'm using my little ring light, like I said last time. You guys see those ghosts? Those are ghosts going by. But I wanted to make another one today, since now it's nighttime again. But I want to make one. Is this thing on? 1, 2. Man, it picks up weird. Wanted to make another one today because I didn't make one for like a week. So I figured, and this one should be short, get them out of the way. Yeah, so this one is on one of the main events of my life, I would say. And one I always say shows that everything happens for a reason. So last time in video number 4, I was talking about my relationships, and one of them being Nicole Dunn when I was in 10th grade, sophomore year. And so I'll go over that just really quickly. So we dated in 10th grade. She was lying a ton. I caught her, broke it off after like 3 months, 3 months. It was short. And, she left that school that year, or at the end of that year. And I don't think I talked to her really ever again or anything like that. And then after I got out of high school, I was working at Sprouts, and Facebook was a thing. I had my Facebook, and I started getting these messages on Facebook from someone I didn't know. And I kept asking, I asked, I was like, oh, do I know you? And this person replied, oh, it's Nicole. But I made a fake profile. And so she made a fake profile to contact me. I don't know. I wasn't avoiding her. And then she started showing up at my work at 10 o'clock at night. I would be in the parking lot pushing carts in, and she would be out there hey, how's it going? And I don't know how she found out I worked there. Maybe, I guess I was probably posting it on Facebook. But it's just creepy. But she started asking me oh, you want to hang out? You want to hang out? Want to hang out? And it was a mixture of I was working 40 hours a week. I had 18 units in school, and I didn't really want to hang out. So there's truth when I said oh, I can't, I'm busy, but at the same time, I just didn't want to. So she kept asking me over and over, and kept saying no. And then one night, she asked me hey, just come over for an hour. I was like, I can do that. So I told my parents, I was hey, I'm going over for an hour. I'm gonna be there, and I'm gonna get out of there. I just want, one and done. Just talk to her for an hour and kind of move on. And so I went over. I think I got there by 11 p.m. She lived fairly close, so it wasn't that big of a deal. And yeah, we just sat on the couch in the living room, and in the background was a document, History Channel was on. It was Are Mermaids Real documentary. And yeah, we just talked, nothing crazy. And then it was 11:55, and I forget exactly, but she started freaking out. And I don't know if someone knocked on the back door, like the patio door, or what, but I think someone knocked. So she's freaking out and she looks over there. It's dark outside, of course. And she goes over to the door and she's freaking out. Right now it's 1:30, so I'm tired. But she goes over and she's freaking out. And she opens the door and I recognize the guy. And I'm like, oh, like, that's, now I'm forgetting his name. But Paul. I think it was, yep, I think it was Paul. Paul Euling. And I was like, oh, I recognize him because we used to go like her youth group when we were dating, and he was like an ex of hers, and so he comes in and they're yelling at each other. And we had talked, and she was like, "Oh no, I'm not in a relationship," like, and I was like, "Okay," and so she lets him in, and they're yelling at each other like, "What the hell?" Blah 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 blah. I'm just sitting there on the couch like, and she's standing in the kitchen between like kitchen room, dining room, and he comes over to me, and I'm sitting on the couch, and he stands in front of me, and I extend my hand out, like I say something like, oh, "It's been a long time," or something like that, like for a handshake. And he's just standing there like huffing and puffing. He wasn't like a huge guy. He's definitely bigger than me. At the time, I was probably only like 120. I've never been big, but he was maybe 180 and like maybe an inch or two, a couple inches taller than me. Um, but he's standing there and he's just huffing and puffing. And I put my hand down. He's like, "Get the F out, or I'll beat you the F up." I don't say the F word. I never have. So, fun fact about me. So he says, "Get the F out, or I'll beat you the F up." And I'm like, okay, like I was actually gonna leave soon anyways. And so I stand up, and to the left of me on the little like side table were my keys and I think my wallet or my phone, maybe my phone. And so I get up, I grab my items, put them in my pockets, and he's behind me at this time. And then Nicole yells, like, "Go ahead and beat him up." I'm like, "Oh." And he wraps his arm around my neck, and we get thrown to the ground. And I'm just like, "What's going on?" I didn't say it, but in my mind, I was thinking, like, "What the hell's going on?" And I can't breathe. And I was just kind of in shock. I definitely was not expecting this to happen. And I remember I was blacking out. Like, I know people who have heard this story before know I say this, but like blacking out where it literally like darkness is encompassing like your vision. And I was like, "Oh, well, God, if I pass out, like it's up to you what's gonna happen." And that moment he let go, and then he continued like hitting me and kicking, and he would get off of me and he would kick me, and I'd get up, and then he would grab me or start hitting me again and push me down and kick me. And then he got on top of me one last time and he kept hitting my face, and I put my arms up and I just kept yelling like, "Get off of me, I was leaving, get off of me." And finally he got off of me, kicked me like a couple more times. I stand up, and this, for some reason, this is one of like the most distinct things I remember from that night. Was like, I stood up and I had like blood running down my face, And I remember like cupping my hands under my face to like catch the blood because they had white carpets. And I was like, I don't want to get my blood on this carpet. And I go to the door, which is, right there. It's pretty much like an open floor concept. And I go to the door, and I think I bent down to get my flip flops, and he pushes me into the door, and I just walk out the door, and I'm like, "Hey, like, give me my shoes. I'm leaving." And he throws my shoes out the door, and I go into my car, which was parked on the out on the street sidewalk, and I call my parents, and I'm just like, "Hey, I think I have a broken nose." And they're like, what's going on? And I kind of told them like what happened, and I think I was driving home at that point, and I was like, hey, just blah 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 blah, this happened. I was like, I'm okay, I just think it's broken. I remember like it didn't hurt, I just wasn't shocked. Like I knew my nose was broken because I felt it. um and so I get home, and I think when I got home, either when I got home or when I was on my way home, we called the police. And I forget the order, but I think maybe it may have been actually two different police officers, whatever, but some came to our house and they talked to me, and they were like, what happened? Tell us, break down the events. And I told them everything. And then I believe it was either that night or the next morning, they went and detained, arrested both Nicole and Paul. Man, I think his name was Paul. Paul Euling? Paul? Yeah, whatever. Not too important. I have it written down somewhere. And I remember that night I kept messaging her. Oh, when she said go ahead and beat him up, she ran off into like a different room. And then I remember when I got home, I was texting her. I was like, hey, are you okay? Like, I didn't know if she was in trouble next or anything. I don't know where she went. Um, and I don't think she responded. But then after the police left, we went to the hospital and they checked me out. I remember, like, again, I knew it was broken, but it wasn't like, it was like, I think they did some x-rays, and I was kind of just joking around. It was at this point like 2 a.m. and no one was at the doctor. And this was September 30th to like October 1st. And the nurses were like, man, like you're in like a good mood for going through this. I was like, yeah, it's like, I'm alive. Could have been worse. And they confirmed like my nose was broken and I had bruised ribs. Nothing like crazy. It looked way worse than it was, because like I got home and I had blood like all over, and it like dripped onto one of my favorite shirts. And but then this led to going to court. So at the time I was in college and I was taking a biology class with a teacher I adored. Like he was one of the coolest guys. I would stay after class and just talk to him about different animals and like trips to the desert and like cool things, or things that I'm definitely interested in. And so I was taking this class and I kept having to go to court, so I was missing days, and I was missing, I think I missed like a field trip. I mean, one day after class, he was like, hey, like, I know you're going through some stuff. How about you come back, finish the grade that you're supposed to get the second half, or like come back next semester for the second half of the class and get the grade you deserve, like you deserve, like you work towards. I was like, yeah, I'll do that. I really appreciated it. Mr. Golden at Grossmont, and one of my favorite teachers of all times. And so I went to court, and my family, I had the final say, but my family kind of decided, like, hey, we're pressing charges, but like, we aren't like, oh, we want money, we want blood. Um, Pretty much we decided, like, I just want this, me, I'll say me because this is what I wanted, but I was like, I want this guy to learn. Like, this wasn't his first time doing something like this. He had like multiple counts of like fighting people, pulling out a knife, like drunk driving, I don't know, stuff like that. And I remember he kept blaming it, or the like defense for him was blaming it on like his dad who died of cancer when he was 2. And at this point he was 20. And it's like, um, but I remember I even talked in front of like the judge, and I was like, my family's, fortunate. Like, the bills for the going to the hospital and everything was $100 something. My shirt was ruined, but it was like, and yeah, it was just like this. I'd rather see this guy like put away, and hopefully like not put away, but like, well, kind of put away, but like learn a lesson more than anything. And so got, he was guilty of, whatever, and he is now like a felon. I think he was only in prison or jail for like a couple months. And but the judge said, one thing that stuck out to me during this was like the judge said, if this guy ever sees you again, like, or you ever do anything to him again, like, you're back in jail. Um, and this scarred me for a little while. Like, I remember coming home and I would just be scared, and I would carry a knife with me, like a little pocket knife. And if I came home at night and like no one was home, like all of the lights would be off, and I would just hold this knife in front of me and walk through my house and like turn on lights. I remember one time doing that, and like I got to my room and I just started crying, and I was like, this is horrible. Like, more of the fear of like, this happened to me at any moment and now it could happen again, and it could be worse, like, um but fast forward, uh next semester, we're talking, it was end of the semester, so it was April, Mayish, maybe like April, we'll say. I go back to Grossmont and I stand in the hallway to go to this class. Sorry, I have like this bump on my finger. I keep picking it. It's so annoying. But I go to the class, and I'm waiting in the hallway for the teacher to come and like open up the classroom. And I see this girl walk by, and I'm like, who is that? And then we get in the class, and I'm kind of like watching her, and I'm waiting for attendance, and Sarah, and she raises her hand. And then we go on like a little walk around this school, and my teacher, or with my teacher and everything. And then finally it clicks. Like, I had a dream. I kind of said this in my last video. I had a dream in junior, senior year about this girl. And this was the girl. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, this, I would have never met this girl if I didn't get attacked. I didn't have to go to court. I didn't like have to retake this class, all these different things. And I ended up asking her out and dated, and then, we dated. I went to Denver. We broke up. Like, I was devastated. But I stayed in Denver. I did more film. I met my next girlfriend. I met some of my best friends out in Denver. All of these things happened that would have probably never happened if I wouldn't have suffered a little. And I wouldn't have grown. I would have, at the time, I was kind of like seeking friendships and stuff and like not weird places, but like online. And that stuff maybe would have kept going and like made my life weird. Um, so it's, I'm thankful. Like, I wish it would have happened in a different way, but I'm thankful that I can look back and be like, yeah, this stuff happened, but who I am after it happened, I like a whole lot more. And that's one thing I always hold on to. That's one thing I always say. Like, my username on here and Instagram and everything has changed my life 101. And pretty much, 101 stands for like the basics. Like when you take a college class and everything, like 101 is like basics. And so, change my life. That's something I even have for my vlog is like, I want to be able to just have the basics to change my own life and help people change theirs, hopefully for the better. And some of it's so simple and so elementary in a way to be able to change someone's life or to change your life. And I don't know. I think that's inspiring to be able to change a life, whether it's yours or someone else's. I always say, like, there's two things I want out of a job. Well, mainly two things that matter to me the most: that I'm happy and that I can make someone happy or like make someone stay. And I don't know. I think that's something that's always like resonated with me. Um, but yeah, so that's kind of my spiel on that relationship and something I'll probably refer to every once in a while. Um, Probably the most eye-opening experience in my life. I had a couple others like here and there, but that's one that literally spanned from 2011 to 2015. So 4 year span of like life changing kind of events. Um, yeah, so that's kind of my spiel for the night. I'm probably gonna head to bed here in a second, but I'm working on some stuff. Still don't have my other computer up, but I'm happy that I got so much other stuff done today. Um, Tomorrow will be my computer. Tomorrow, hopefully, my computer, another vlog, and let's shoot for what else do I have to get done? A little more cleaning. I want to read. I want to read some more of my book. Maybe I'll finish off the night with that. And hang up some stuff. I have a ton of posters and stuff. Hopefully, these walls can have some posters on them by tomorrow's video. So thanks for watching. If you guys are watching, which no one does, but it's for me. Maybe one day. One day I'll change my life. Change your life 101. Yeah, have a good night, guys, and we'll catch you tomorrow. Bye bye.